frequency of for
which you all were waiting for is interviewing skills. Um, I would emphasize on this, that is right attitude brings better opportunities. You should have a positive attitude. Now, as I mentioned it to you, pandemic, there would be so many hotels which are bleeding. There are so many people who are not getting jobs. There are so many aspects which would come into picture. We have to be positive. We have to stay positive. Should have a right attitude towards our work. We have to uh, think about one thing what you have done. So you are not going to a college at the moment. Probably this is what you would always say, that I've missed my college, but there would be n number of things which you can learn from this. There would be n number of things which you can sit, understand what is your strength is, and there are so many aspects to that to have a right attitude. So that is the most important thing, that the right attitudes bring better um, right attitude brings better opportunities. It's a very easy quote, but that's how we have to think. If you think you are right, if you think you can, you are right. If you think you can't, again, you think that it is beyond your capacity, fine, leave it. You are right again. Do not say that, okay, fine, I cannot do this. My friends have done this X, Y, Z. Um, don't compare yourself. You have an individual personality. That's what it is most important thing, and that's what the attitude matters. um, so I'll run you through what I've done. What I've tried to do it is, I've tried to divide into 5 different parts. That is what you should do before the interview, during the interview, and at the end of the interview. So that has I tried to divide into 5 different parts. Part one says about before the interview, what you should do. Now, this is the most important aspect, and I find when I go for an campus recruitment, or when I interview people, I find that people do not do the homework. This is the most important aspect, I would say, and that is the reason I've put this as a first bullet point for me. Um, I have told you about Hyatt. Why did I tell you about Hyatt? Because you should understand the company before you go for an interview, or before you meet anybody, before you start analyzing that which is the company you want to work. Now, do your homework. Now, you have a small glimpse about Hyatt. If you are coming for an interview for Hyatt in Grand Hyatt Kochi or anywhere, you have a small idea, but develop those ideas. Do not sit idle on the previous day, stating that, okay, fine, interview, I'll go and I can speak well. I have enormous knowledge of the products. I know my I have in my academics I was my topper. Doesn't help. What is the most important thing is, you should do your homework a day prior. As you're preparing for your exam, please prepare for your interview as well. Do your homework right. Understand about the hotel which you're going to work for. Understand about the industry what you're going for. Understand about what the location is, how the location is. Exactly, have a clear picture, and then go for an interview. Um, uh, don't go it for the sake of going, oh, let me get some experience of giving an interview. Interview will not give you an experience. Interview will give you an experience if you have done your homework properly, and then you can choose. Probably once you get an offer, there are quite a few people who chooses that's fine. But when you are going for an interview, please do your homework properly. Please understand that in today's world, it is very easy to get the information about the industry. You can go on to net, you can search other people who is going to take your interview, understand how they have grown. Probably there is a conversation which you can have. Probably understand the restaurants which you there would be a restaurant which you would like to work in. For example, ISO, you would like to work in that in a Thai restaurant. You are a chef and you want to work. Uh, Understand the Thai restaurant properly. understand what exactly the restaurant cover size is, what is the restaurant, what does the restaurant cuisine look like. That's how detailed your homework should be. Get your facts right. Know where you're going. As I mentioned to you, when you don't go it for the sake of going, okay, fine, let me get an experience. I have heard so many people saying this. Let me get an experience of an interview. Interview would give you a good experience when you are prepared for the every interview, whichever hotel you go, whether it's a 3-star hotel or a 4-star hotel or a 5-star hotel or a super deluxe hotel, wherever you go, get your facts right. Understand about the hotel. That's where your preparation would come into picture. Arrive 5 to 15 minutes early. I have seen quite a few people, because this is your first impression, and I've seen quite a few people coming in late, giving an excuse about trains are late, buses are late. I didn't get a cab. That's an excuse, a mere excuse for me. Probably you are genuine in what you are saying, but you can start early. Very simple thing. Start early. Uh, get yourself in the hotel on time. Be prepared. Take your extra copies of your resume, portfolio, notepad, pens, etc. Try to carry yourself, which is a kit for you for an interview. I have seen so many people coming without a resumes as well, and say that, okay, fine, I'll send you by mail. Probably I want to see a copy of that. Be prepared. uh, you have your certificates, you have your resumes, everything intact with you when you go for an interview. Probably you can when you get a call for the interview, you can ask what all things you want to carry. You should carry your certificate, or you should not carry your certificate. Probably I will say don't carry your certificates, but there would be an organization which would say, okay, fine, carry your certificates as well. I want to see your all those aspects, what you have written is correct or not. So be prepared for that. Now, resume writing. So you take your resume for an interview. Uh, Understand that resume is one which gets you an interview. Now, I when I opened this hotel, probably I have taken quite a few people from your college as well. I had come there for a campus recruitment. Um, so what I've seen, and that's what I would, not from specifically from the college, but we had got quite a few CVs. You have to understand that this is what you are presenting yourself. I had thousands of CVs which had come to me when I was opening the hotel. Now, from this 1,000 CVs, if I have to shortlist your CV, I don't know. I don't know you. I don't know. Probably I don't know this 1,000 people. How would I would have select? I would see the CV, and that's where I would get the first impression of the person. So properly plan your CV, write your CV. It presents you in the best possible way. It paints a positive and a factual picture of you. Your CV should show how the person is. It guides the interviewer to in what to ask questions, set up a positive note for the tone for the interview, and these are the steps which you should write. Choose a job target. Be specific. Now, what I would also emphasize is, when I go to campus in colleges, I see 99% of the CVs are the same. So it is easier for me. I can write the name. I can read the name. I can see the objective. Probably 80% of the objectives are the same. You have your same pattern to that. You have mentioned the hobbies, which probably you might have not done in your lifetime. When I start questioning, you say that, okay, fine. There are quite a few people who write, I love reading books, and which is a common thing which I've seen, and probably he might have not even read any book completely. Uh, do not do all those things. Be objective. Objective is specific to you. Understand what you're writing in your resume. list of strongest skills. Consider what skills, experience you are needed to do the job. Probably if you have an experience, you can mention your skills. For every skill listed, think about an accomplishment. Now, as I mentioned to you, there are quite a few people who copy the resumes, who write for the sake of doing it, or you have a different aspect to that. Now, for example, in this is the student would write as I've done the anchoring of my fest in my college. So think about it. What have you done before an interview? Think about it. What exactly have you done in that? What are your achievements? What? So when I pose a question to you, because I would pose a question to you only on the basis of your resume. 90% of the time, it would be basic of your on the basis of your resume. So what I would feel is what you should be prepared over there is every element of your resume. You should have an explanation to that. The resume should be by heart to you. The resumes, every word should be by heart to you. Okay, fine. If I ask you about reading, you would start telling about what is the last book you have read, what exactly you mean by that, how exactly your hobby of your reading is. So that's how detailed your thought process should be. One word in your resume, as you can see my presentation, it's one sentence, but I've been telling you about this. That's how your resume should look like. You list one sentence, but that sentence you should be able to speak about that sentence. How are you going to do that? It is as simple as that. You are preparing for your interview. Now, for example, when you go for your examination, you have your own tactics. Now, how I should do that is I have bullet points in my mind, by hearted bullet points in my mind, that this question has got 5 bullet points, and this bullet point is one thing which I would by heart myself. Now, on that bullet point, I can elaborate, or I can write the description. That's how I do. Probably that's how many of you would also do. Not that you would by heart everything. So your resume should be exactly on that basis. It should have the precise thing, but you should be able to explain it to the interviewer. That would set a very good example for you. Sorry. Describe it in simple words. You do not have to use complicated words. You are a fresher. You all are freshers, and nobody expects you to have so many complicated words in your resume, which even you cannot pronounce. Do not do all those things. What normally people do is they would download it from net. You can do that. You can take it. I'm not denying the fact that you should not do that. You should see all those things. But when you are writing it, it should be replica of. If I'm writing it, it should be replica of what Sujit Nair is. Make a list of the jobs in a chronological order. So this is basically for those who have experience. Probably if you have done 2 internship, I would relate to college students. If you have done 2 internship or 3 internship or whatever is it, you can write it or your experience in a chronological order. Include your job experience. So now again, internship, etc. You have done your internship. You have done it in this department. Be specific on that. This is what the department is. This is what I like in the department. Probably you can give a small brief about that. What are your achievements doing an internship? So those objectives should be very clear. This point is already covered of here. So make a list of your internship certification and certification you have completed related to your new job. So try to have a link with your job. However, you don't create it, but try to have the link. Now, for example, I mentioned a chef. You are interested into Thai restaurant of Grand Hyatt Kochi. You would have the detail about Thai restaurant. You would understand what Thai restaurant is, or what sort of cuisine, etc., etc. You have to correlate yourself that you want this job, you want this to work in Thai restaurant for XYZ reason. I have done an Asian cuisine, or I have learned so many things from probably from a YouTube, probably from my home. I've tried to prepare XYZ things. This is what I've learned about Thai cuisine, and this is what my passion is, and this is where I want to go. Be very specific. There would be an interviewer who would be asking you different questions, saying, okay, fine, I do not have a job in housekeeping. Could you go into F&B for next 6 months, and then we'll shift it to housekeeping or culinary, whatever it is. N number of people would say yes for the sake of getting a job. I'm not saying that you're wrong. What I'm saying is you have to understand what your strength is, what you want in your life. Probably you would shift your probably you'll shift your stream over a period of time. Now, internship is the most important aspect. Now, when you go for an internship or when you have an idea, you have to be very clear of internship gives an opportunity to do in different departments, and you also have specific department in your mind. So when you go for an interview, you have to be clear that I would go into this interview for this job, for a housekeeping job, or a F&B job, or a chef's job. Do not try to. So basically, what I would like to make you understand is, do not try to change yourself in that short span of time. You have to be very clear. Even if the interviewer is asking you n number of questions stating that you are good in F&B, go into F&B, don't go into housekeeping. Probably you can take your time to think about it, whether the interview, probably the interviewer might have thought that your passion or your understanding or your level would be different for an F&B rather than in housekeeping. Your expertise can be used. Probably he would be looking at you from his experience point of view. But I would urge you that you have to be very, very clear in your thought process, and very clear stating that, okay, fine, this is what I require. If I want to change my department, as you mentioned, let me analyze myself. Let me analyze whether I am fit for that. I'm mentally fit for that. I can do a good job, because unless until you're mentally fit to do that job, mentally fit, I would like to say that you have yourself, your thought process is right, stating that I would go into this department, and you're clear in your thought process, only then shift. That's what I would like to say over here. Summarize the key points of your resume in short sentences. So basically, that it should be a summary, and read your resume carefully. Read your resume 10 times, 15 times. Proofread your grammar. There are so many spelling mistakes, punctuations, grammars, grammatical mistakes, which I find in a CV. If I see a CV with proper formatting, proper grammar, proper spelling, proper punctuation, I would have the first impression of that person. I would say that, okay, fine, this guy has gone getting into an interview. That's the most important thing. I would call this person for an interview. Let me assess it, because he has written it properly. And getting this right is not easy. Believe me. When you write a resume of 1 page or a 2 page, whatever is it, each and every word, each and every punctuation, each and every grammatical thing has to be clear. So that's the most important thing, what I feel. And so proofread your resume. Do not copy your resume. Even if you are read it n number of times, so that you understand that this is what my resume looks like. Part 1, again, before the interview, grooming, very very important, because we are in that industry. Believe me, there are people who comes in different attire. Now, in a jeans or whatever is it, you have this industry. We are specific on our grooming as well. So let us be well groomed when you go for an interview. Hair should be clean, combed. fingernails to be clean, perfumes after shave to be kept minimum, personal hygiene very important. So what I've also seen is probably you wear your worn out clothes as well. Probably that's the best. That's the only suit what you have, and that you have been using it for probably a year or so in your college, and you wear the suit and come in. Don't do that. If you think that this is not the perfect one, don't do that. If you think that, then go into your formal shirt and nice trousers and shoe. That's it. That's the most important. You don't have to think about wearing a tie, a pocket square, a coat. So if you're going for an interview, probably have it. I have put it over here with a coat and suit and all. But if you think that your attire is not good, you have to see yourself in the mirror and you have to say that, okay, man, my tie looks good. My tie knot is perfect. My pocket square is good. Oh, fine. I do not have a pocket square which is proper. Leave it. My tie is little worn out, which I would not like to showcase. Fine. You can go in a proper trouser, shirt, and nice shoes. That's it. Simple. Keep it simple. Don't overdo yourself. Don't wear excess jewelries or accessories or anything of that sort. Do not wear loud clothes, red shirt, yellow pant, whatever is it. Don't do all those things. Be conservative. White shirt, black pant, good light colored shirt. See, I am not saying that it should be only white shirt and black pant. You can wear any color. You have to carry yourself. It should be light color. It should look formals. Part two, during the start of the interview, you inform the HR team that you have an interview. You can come in early. You can have a you will be seated in the waiting area. So inform that you have reached. Make an eye contact. So when you meet an interview, make an eye contact. Do not look here and there. So that shows that you are not confident. When you are speaking to that person, make a proper eye contact. See, all these things. What you can do is you can have a small group within yourself. You can have one of the faculty if required. You can have one of your senior student or a senior student over there. You can mock this in your college itself. Make an eye contact, handshake firmly. Not that you're squeezing the hand of an interview. A firm handshake. Introduce yourself. Say that I'm Sujit Nair. I've come over here for this interview. Don't have a grumpy face. Smile. Be confident and wait until you have been offered a seat. So this industry is our industry has got all this aspect. Our industry is such that we have to make eye contact with a guest. Now, if I take an interview for a waiter or for a guest service associate in front office, or even that matter for a chef or a housekeeping chef, I would say over here, because we all have open kitchen, so our parameters are different. We should have people who are confident enough and ready to speak to a guest. So how your parents are, make an eye contact and firm shake hand. So you're introducing yourself. The way you introduce yourself makes a lot of difference. So probably as I mentioned it, you can have small groups and you can start practicing it. Positive body language. When you have been offered a seat, don't slouch. Don't be too bold. So probably there are quite a few people who are very bold, overconfident. You should keep yourself at the confident level. Now, and there are quite a few people who are shy. When you're shy, what you do is you have your resumes, you have your resume very close to your heart. You're keeping it, not the resume, the file. You're close to your heart. What you do is be confident and you ask the interview, can I keep this on the table? Yeah, keep your file on the table. Sit properly with a straight back. That's how That's how your confidence should be. See, it is not easy. What I'm saying it from my experience, and I understand that it is not so easy when probably you have different things in your mind which is going on. You're going for an interview. You want this job. This is you have completed your studies. You want this job desperately, and there are n number of things which is going into your mind. But think about it. Yes, this is what I am. This is what Sujit Nair is, and this is how I will present myself. So again, the preparation would come into picture. You think that there are quite a few people. What I've seen is from a vernacular medium, and could go to n number of students over here as well. You cannot speak English fluently, probably. It's okay. It is perfectly okay. I'm telling you, it is your confidence, your passion, your understanding that would matter rather than complete sentence with a proper grammatical without any grammatical mistake. Speaking like Shashi Tanuri is not required. You have to show that passion and confidence in you that you want this job, and this is what your aspiration is. Part 3, in an interview, communicate clearly, organize your thoughts before speaking, be positive and honest. Now, I have seen quite a few people who are not honest, who, as I mentioned to you, reading. Yeah, I have read. When I ask about reading, they would blabber. They would think about what should I say about reading. Communicate very clearly. If you don't know the answer, say, so I've not learned about it. Probably I've missed out on this, and move on. Probably this is an opportunity for me to understand this question or what exactly the answer would be. You can ask a question probably at the end of the interview or pose this question, but at that moment, be honest. If you don't know the answer, don't know the answer. Simple. Because as an interviewer, I do not expect that you would know everything. As an interviewer, I would not expect that you have learned, you have everything stored in your mind, what you have learned in your last 3 years, or in your internship, or what I expect, that would be completely different. So that's fine. What is your expectation? What do you know about the subject? Um, Speak about that. Positive body language and gestures. Let the interviewer know about your skills. So now very important aspect. Very important aspect about this is you should know what you are. Now I would give you an example of a marketing person. When he goes door to door, or when he goes to a uh, when he goes to a customer to sell his product, what he does, he should know about the product very well, correct? So the product, if he's a pen seller, he should know about the pen, the thickness of the pen, what the refill is, how much he can write, how many words could come into what time span, x n number of things. That's how when you go for an interview, you are marketing yourself. You know what you are. You know what you are. You don't try to change your personality. If you change your personality, if you try to become somebody else, you cannot become. You cannot. So be yourself. Be yourself. That's the key, and that's what we would like to, as an interview, we would like to see. Be yourself. You would be an outgoing personality. You would be an introvert. You would be an extrovert. Doesn't matter how confident you are, what all skills you possess. Every person has got different skills, and your skills specifically, it should be there in your resume. So your knowledge, interviewer can ask questions to you. Your experience should be there in your resume, because as I mentioned to you, 90% of the time, what you write in your resume is what we ask you, and that makes you a qualified candidate. Know your resume, your portfolio well, and prepared and be prepared for to answer the questions about them. So I have explained to you enough about this. That is, resumes, your portfolio, your should have a clear idea about what exactly what exactly you are. Don't be know it all. I know everything. Express so before, and don't jump into saying everything about you. Don't jump that, oh, I know everything. That don't be that kind of person. You might be knowing everything. Keep it to yourself whenever the interview asks you, or you can guide the interview that, okay, fine, I have this knowledge as well, and this is where I've learned, this is what I've done in my past. So let the interviewer know about it in a different way. Guide it through the interview. Don't answer yes or no. Simple thing. If I ask you any question, don't just say, okay, fine. I take again the example of reading a book. So in your resume, you mentioned that you read a book. Your hobby is reading a book. So you just don't say yes and keep quiet. So probably you can explain, yes, what I've done. Yeah, reading is my passion. I read at least 15 to 20 pages every day before I go to sleep. And last night, this is what I've done. At least give a glimpse of what exactly your hobby, or what exactly the question has been posed to you. A little bit of brief about it, so that the interviewer can ask you more questions on that if you're confident enough to do that. If you don't understand the question, ask the interviewer to explain. If there is something which you have not understood, ask him. Okay, fine. I have not understood this question. If you could explain it to me, what exactly it is. Just don't cut the interviewer. Let him complete the sentence, and then you start asking questions. I have also touched on the group discussion part, because that could be one thing which is there as a fresher, which many of the employer would do. The topic of discussion, obviously, it would be given by the panelists. Now there are quite a few panelists. If you see, when they come in, they would ask you about what sort of topic you would like to hear about, or what sort of topic you're comfortable with. Probably before you group discussion, you can have a couple of 2 or 3 topics which is there in your mind, which you can speak out, so that you show your potential. That, okay, fine, this is the topic he might give, he might not give, but this is a topic I would like to present. Probably when if the interviewer, if the panelist asks you, uh, group discussion, express your views freely, frankly, and friendly on the topic. Discussion revolves around a specific subject. So probably when you should have a proper reading about the subject. You should understand the subject. When there is a time which is given to you about a minute to think about the topic, probably that's when you go for a group discussion, you can have a small notepad with you. You jot down the points which comes to your mind, or jot down the points when somebody else is speaking about your thought process about that subject. Communication skills, presentation, your body language, your confidence are judged in the group discussion. So these are the important parameters. How would you portray yourself? What sort of body language what you have, um, and your confidence. If you know the subject very well, don't be overconfident. Probably I have seen people uh, arguing in a group discussion. That is also not a good sign. That is not at all a good sign, I would say. Unveils a person's It unveils a person's personality, your creativity, your job knowledge. So if I have come for an interview, I would my parameter would be linked to my company. That is my empathy, my care, the respect what you have, the creativity what you have, the innovation what you bring into, the fun what you bring into. So those aspect is there in my mind, and because that's the most important aspect for my company. So that should come across in your personality. Only then you could be selected. Do's and don'ts in the group discussion. Be assertive, make original points, and substantiate with reasoning. So that is the reason I said, write down the bullet points in your notepad so that you can express yourself. Listen to other participants, be analytic and talk about the facts. Moderate the volume, pitch, and your tone. Don't be over aggressive. Don't be don't shout. Don't cut down the people. Be considerate to others and talk with confidence. Don't sit in the group discussion interrupting other participants before they complete. Don't interrupt. So let them complete and give your argument point. Making fun of the participant, not at all. So if a person has said something, you're making a fun of that. That is not acceptable. Repeating irrelevant points. So you have a point which is irrelevant. You know that it is irrelevant, and again you will put it across. That is not that you should not do. Dominating the discussion, enforcing your ideas. You as a leader, see what we see in a group discussion is what you are as a leader. So lead the team, guide the team. Probably there would be an argument. So probably you can control those arguments. You can should not dominate the discussion and force your ideas. Okay, fine, this is my idea and this has to be implemented. No, do not do that. Take everybody's ideas. There would be n number. Probably a notepad would help you out in doing that as well. Probably you can jot down few points which you do not agree and why do you do not agree. So those things has to be very clear. Bluffing bluffing just for the sake of talking. So do not bluff. You think that okay, fine, this is not right, this is not right. And if you think that you do not know about that point, please do not, just for the argument's sake, please do not bluff. Part 4. Sorry. At the end of the interview, as I mentioned it to you, you can ask your job related questions and prepared for the interview. So you have prepared for the interview. So basically ask your questions which has come up during the interview or which you have genuinity for the job. That's a very good the interview would ask you, 90% of the interview would ask you if you have any questions. It should be linked to your job, it should be linked to you. Don't say anything about which you have already spoken about or the interviewer had asked you about. Probably you can pose a question which an interviewer asked and you say that you don't know about it. Probably a hint of that question can be asked to the interviewer. Or what you have to understand about the job, what you have to understand about how the career growth would be. Those things are welcomed in an interview. You should always ask. That's what I would say. Make sure that the interviewer knows how best to contact you and availability. So this is all there in your resume. Information, any additional information may be required. So I have also seen resumes that are walk-in or comes through mail. They come for an interview. That resume doesn't have mobile numbers. Mobile number is of their uncles who has switched it off. Email ID is not working. XYZ. So make sure that your information is your correct information. Thank the person for an interview. Thank the person for the interview and their interest in you as a potential candidate. Again, shake hand firmly when you. So at the moment, probably with the pandemic, I'm not sure people would shake hand. But yeah, that is again a good gesture of shaking hand on the way out. Point 5. Probably when you have an one-on-one interview in the organization, you have send a mail prior, send the interviewer thank you letter. That is good. You can also call up. See, there are quite a few. I'm not sure about this point whether you should or you should not do, but I'm okay with that. That calling up the company a week to understand whether you have been selected, you have not been selected. But if you get a mail with regards to your rejection in the interview, Again, there are quite a few who would call up and ask. It's okay if you're rejected, but if they have not made any decision, you can always go back to the company, to the HR department, to ask about what is the status of your candidature. If they have not, probably you can find them out. Okay, fine. Within how many days can I expect this decision to be done? The possibilities, etc. You can have a word with the HR department for sure. This is my point of view why people are not heard. Poor personal appearance, inability to communicate clearly. Again, inability to communicate clearly, I'm not talking about how fluent the language you are speaking, or how your thought process, the way you put it across, your passion about the job. That's what I called as communicate clearly. A lack of purpose, goal, and planning for your career. So there are quite a few questions. I have jotted down a few questions as well. What do you where do you see yourself 5 years down the line? I will be a manager. That's it. That should not be your answer. Your answer should be, this is what I'm planning to do. This is what I want to grow in this field. This is what my plan of action could be. Within the next 2 years, 3 years, I would like to learn this thing to become a team leader. Probably I would like to have a team leader development program done for me. I would like to do a cross exposure. So your thought process should be clear. You know how well, because everybody has done would be doing your internship. You will understand what this industry is. You would understand what how the growth prospect is that. And that's how you should be very clear in how are you going to achieve that goal. So very important that you have to plan your career. Lack of enthusiasm or confidence at the interview. I have seen quite a few people looking here and there when an interview. So if you are unable to, if you're not confident about the interview, if you don't feel good that day going for an interview, don't go, or inform that you're not coming for the interview. So don't lose your self confidence and go for an interview. It will not help you. Be confident, even if you think that, okay, fine, this is too big for me, or probably the questions were different for me. Have that confidence and enthusiasm for going for any interview. As I mentioned to you, might be a 3-star hotel, might be a 4-star hotel, might be a 5-star hotel, might be a super deluxe hotel. Any hotel you go, or any organization you go, don't go for the sake of going. If you're going for the sake of going, do not go. If you think that so every interview has to be cracked. That's how your thought process should be. Lack of knowledge about the business, lack of knowledge about what sort of company it is, what sort of organization it is. You should have the knowledge, you should have that understanding before you go for the interview. Few questions, which is tell me about yourself, tell about strengths and weaknesses. You can see these are very common questions which have been asked, and you can always prepare yourself for that. Your strengths and weaknesses, your hobbies, where do you see yourself 5 years down the line, why do you want to work with us, why should we hire you, what do you know about the organization, you have any questions for us. These are all common questions which are asked in an interview. So before, when the interviewer asks you, why to prepare that at that time, prepare yourself prior to the interview. This is what my suggestion or my advice would be to you. Prepare before you go for an interview. Okay, great.